What's up, VolumeTV? It's your man Reggie B. Moore back at it with another edition. We got somebody special for you today. We got one of the biggest names behind the scenes in the music game, all right? We got none other than the boss of bosses of A&Rs himself, Mr. Kevin Shine. How you doing, sir?
What's going on? What's going on?
Welcome to VolumeTV today. How you doing?
Man, it's a pleasure, man. We here in Charlotte, North Carolina, man, with the NCMC. You know, my girl, Nikki Rich. You know, working with her today. You know, just trying to spread this information, man. You know, a lot of times we be so eager to make this money, man. We don't even talk about the money. So the day I made it my business, I was gonna talk about money. And when I say money, I mean make others need everything you had to offer.
Yeah, and we see with the conference today, like you were being real. You were up close, personal, and on the real with half of the artists out here. Like you even gave them a 30-second time. Everybody, all the artists that was in the area, 30-second time to spit in front of you. That's powerful. You never get that in the music game. So
you know, I was trying to teach them something. It's a strategy called radio, and a lot of artists don't even know what it feels like, you know, to be judged on the radio. But when your record plays on the radio, that's how much time you got to impress us before we turn that channel. So if you don't immediately do something in 30 seconds that we like, we're not going to remember you. Get 3 minutes, 4 minutes, all of that. We're not even talking about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, because you're not. It's almost kind of like being a comedian. I'm not gonna let you do 15 minutes if you can't do 5.
I understand. I definitely understand. And that makes sense. See, what he told you, if you can't do 5 minutes, he's not gonna let you do more. If you can't do 30 seconds, what's the purpose of doing the whole song? All right. So another thing that you came here. So we know that you're the boss of A&Rs and everything. So tell the fans who don't know who Kevin Shine is. Tell them some of the people that you got signed up to record labels.
Well, you know, I'm gonna be honest and say this. You know, there's a gentleman that every time somebody asks me about being an A&R that I have to credit to. That's Wayne Williams. He was the senior vice president over at Jive Records, who brought me into the circle. I think all of us have been doing some form of A&R in our career. Maybe even you listening to demos, whatever the case may be. But you know, like when you go into it, like yeah, I was part of the development of a lot of people's career, inadvertently or directly or indirectly. You know what I'm saying? I was lucky enough to help, you know, an early Kanye West. You know, I was lucky enough to work with an early Jill Scott. You know, I was lucky enough to just recently sign a kid, help a kid get signed to Jive and Jacob Lattimore.
Okay,
you know, just really working with people in the industry, helping people build their brands, helping them build up. And working with an organization called the Soul Select DJs, helping to break artists in Chicago and the Chicago market. Responsible for a lot of artists out there that really kind of went on and made money and all like that. Responsible for working with a guy named Kevin Shakespeare Briggs, helping him before Bills, No Scrubs. I discovered him. And all like that. You know,
like I said, A-list.
You know, so I've helped a lot of people that I work with. And then I had an opportunity as an A&R to help work on the Untitled album that got nominated for a Grammy. I managed some writers.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I managed some writers that named Galaxy. One of the girls named Carla Henderson was featured on the hook on the How Low record. That got nominated for a Grammy. So you know, these are the kind of things that have helped me, and I have a lot of executives that I put in the game because I teach music business. I taught at Columbia College.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. You taught at Columbia College in Chicago, right?
I taught at Columbia College.
So what made you go from Columbia College to go teach there to get into what you're doing?
You know, really, my mentor was Ernie Singleton. He's the president of MCA Records. You know, when MCA was, you know, the Universal, all like that. And he was the person who was the first person in my life that influenced me enough to say, you have just as much to offer as these executives, but you have to put yourself in a position for people to find you. So I started doing panels and moderating panels to give me a chance to be seen by people. So when they would hear me talk, they immediately knew I knew the business. So that opened me up to being a consultant and get me in the game. It was later that there were some students that came to me, and they were really trying to put on their first music conference. And I was like, what's going to be the purpose of your music conference? They were like, the purpose of my conference is to get mentors and internships. So I helped them put together their first conference, and we were able to land like 7 VPs.
Oh, wow.
To their conference. Their organization at the time when we started was 7 people. Their organization the next year after, 150 people.
Well, I need to talk to you next time. That's the next conference.
So, and then immediately, the school seen the impact I was having, and they gave me a class so I could be a part of that whole thing. I also, at that time, I was getting a young artist signed to Def Jam through Mike Tyson's label. He didn't really pan out like we wanted to, but I met a lot of great people. I've always had my hand in the game one way or the other. And now I'm in a position where I'm launching a company called The Firm, Foundation for Innovative Resource Management. And it's giving me an opportunity to get out here and really counsel some of these companies. Because really, we always talk about the artists ain't doing this, the artists ain't doing that, artists need to be doing this. And it really hit me. The artists aren't doing nothing but trying to find a home, right? So most of the reason that they end up in good contracts or bad contracts is depending on what home they find. If they find a good home, then they end up in a bad contract. In a good home, then they're in a good contract. Bad home, bad contract. So maybe I need to stop blaming these companies. Maybe we need to start talking to these people who calling themselves CEOs and putting it on their shirt and their hat and walking around and talking about I run a record label and I run this company and sign to my company and all that. Maybe we need to start talking to them because because really you don't sign directly to a label anymore. You sign to a company, you get packaged, or you sign to a producer and you get packaged, and then you go to a company. That's how it works now. So when we're talking to these people, it's almost kind of like, why are we talking to the artists? Unless they're trying to be a CEO, then we should be talking to the companies. And so today, I wanted to address the companies, not the CEO, not the artists. I wanted to say to the companies, you're the reason why your artist is in town. Because you don't even have a business plan, you don't have a marketing plan, you don't have an LLC, you don't have tax, you haven't put your taxes together right, you haven't got the right entertainment lawyers, you haven't talked to the right people to brand yourself, but then you're sicking your artists on us.
And that's correct, because you got TurboTax. TurboTax is only $80. You get the business TurboTax at the store, and that's easy. Keep your stuff on, keep your credit card receipts, go online, go to your bank statements. It's not hard. I agree with you.
You're not hiring image consultants, you're not hiring publicists, you're not getting marketing people, you're not following the blueprint and the plan that's set up to be a company. And then you want to run to a DJ, you run to an A&R and throw your record on the radio. We don't even know if the record is copyrighted. We don't even know if the record is ready to be played on the radio. We don't even know if the record, if you've done the right mastering or mixing of the record. We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing but you just trying to hurry up and get somebody signed. But what do you really want to get us signed for? You want to get them signed to what? You're already the company. So it's almost kind of like you're copping out on your job by saying we need a deal. If you were the company, you need to present your company as a business. If you were trying to get somebody to merge and acquire, and acquisition is what we call it, mergers and acquisition, merge with you, then you gotta have some collateral. You gotta have something to bring to the table. If you haven't built your artists up to the point that they're making any money, then how can you collateral them with us to get money?
You can't show what kind of profit you make. You're right.
I don't know exactly what you know.
So, because we see, just talking to you that 1 second right there, that little bit of time right there, we know that a lot of artists need help. So the artists that are willing to go ahead and purchase your service and everything, how much? Well, not how much, but you know what? Would you be able to work with them?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you something, and I want you to really know. And I'm gonna tell this to everybody out there. there's a certain thing we have in the industry called room tax. You don't take your time to want to learn. You don't take your time to do your homework. You don't take your time to do the research to figure out who we are, what we do, what we're capable of, and how to better use us to serve you. Then you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay the highest amount that there is. And you may not have it, and guess what? We don't care.
You don't care because you can go to the next
because we can go because it ain't about us babysitting you through this. It's about you being responsible enough to care about your career like you care about that car, like you care about your rent, like you care about your light bill, and you care about your life. You know what I'm saying? If somebody put a gun in front of you and they get ready to take your life, you're gonna plead for your life. That's what you're doing. Plead for your life. Don't sit here and say to us, well, man, you know, I'm better than this person. Well, what do we have to see that? You're not better than nobody if you ain't making no money.
Y'all hear that right now? He's giving you jewels. These are jewels that you're not going to get anywhere else like this. It's coming from one of the most powerful men in the music business, okay? Note this. Please note this. So on the last note, so what would you out there like, so where you going to be at in the next couple months and what's some like sound off that you want to say or shout out you want to give people?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say branding is important. If we don't know who you are, we don't communicate with each other. I ain't talking about hand me a CD and walk away. I'm not talking about throw me a flyer and walk away. I'm not talking about walk up to me and you know, and act like you're making all this money and then walk away. It's a relationship thing. If I don't know you, I don't know you. Meaning that I can't support you if I don't know you. And then when you hear me say that, think about every person that you done did this to. We don't know you, y'all. We don't know you. We're not supporting you. It's not us not supporting you because we don't think your music is good. We're not supporting you because we don't know you. So when you present yourself to somebody, make an effort to let them know you. Yes, it might be a little harder to get to all of us, but that's your job. Your job is to get to all of us, to make sure we know you. And when we know you, it may not even be your music we'll support you because of. It might be because you're a good person. It might be because we admire your hustle or your grind. But if we don't know you, we don't know you. So we can't help you if we don't know you. So that's my advice to most of these people. So you know me?
That's what I was gonna say. How can we get them jewels on Twitter? How do we get that?
Get me at Kevin, KEVIN, _ A, the letter N, the letter R, _ shine, SHINE. Please, Kevin, KEVIN, _ A, N, R, _ shine, SHINE. And let's communicate.
You have no excuse. The information is right at the bottom of the screen, so you have no excuse for that.
Let's communicate. That's how you're going to get me. I'm not going to give you no emails and all like that. You got music. I'm going to tell you how to get it to me. You want to book me for any event or help you out, that's called consulting. I do want to make that point. A lot of people are not consulting you guys. They're not consulting you. They're just showing up with their name or their tag or their title. Just because somebody worked at a major label don't mean that they're coming to help. If you're going to pay them to come in town, they're going to come. If you're going to pay them and then help them go out and party, they're going to come. But if you really want to get some help, make sure you communicate with the person and make sure you know what their intention is. Because when you book me, that's what I'm coming to do. I'm coming to help. And I want to do it because it's in my heart, because I was you, and I understand what it means to have a person not reach out and make themselves successful. Even today, you know, we're here in a restaurant. We just had a conference. You know, you pan that table, those are all the people from the conference. Networking, talking. That's Nicky Rich. No, those are all the people from the conference. We're sitting down, we're eating, we're talking. We mingle because it's a relationship, and that's what we're trying to build, and that's what you're trying to do.
Like I said, you got to break bread with people. You got to sit down. You got to talk. You got to want to correspond. You got to do more than just like you said, hand the CDs and just say, okay, bye, here you go. You got to understand the business. If you don't understand the business, you will not make it in the game. It's like anything, football, baseball, any sports or anything that you do, just make sure you remember that, all right? I'm your man, Reggie B. Moore.
Please,
Kevin Shine.
The fun.
Holla.